Hare Krishna. So, today we continue with our seminar on raising children in Krishna consciousness.
Takže dneska budeme pokračovať v našom seminári o vychovávaní detí vo vedomí Krišnu.
Yesterday we spoke about some introductory words, how no one should become a guru or father or mother or husband or even the worshipful deity if he cannot deliver those who are dependent on him.
Takže včera sme hovorili nejaké také úvodné slova o tom, ako sme sa nemali stávať otcom, matkou, guruom, príbuzným alebo dokonca uctievaným božstvom, pokiaľ nie sme schopní oslobodiť tých, ktorí sú na nás závislí.
And the highest form of liberation, as we know, is of course prema bhakti.
A najvyššia forma oslobodenia, ako vieme, je prema bhakti.
That we achieve pure love of Krishna.
Že my dosiahneme čistú lásku ku Krišnovi.
So, in order to achieve this, we should be really very serious about devotional service.
Že na to, aby sme to dosiahli, tak musíme byť veľmi vážni v našej oddanej službe.
If we are not, that means that we don't have faith in the process of devotional service.
A ak nie sme, tak znamená, že nemáme vieru v ten proces oddanej služby.
Because Jiva Goswami explains that the symptom of Shastriya Shraddha or transcendental Shraddha in the scriptures is to have to be very determined.
A Jiva Goswami hovorí, že mať vieru v šastri alebo tú šastra Shraddha, tak znamená, že sme veľmi odhodlaní.
Yes, so we should acquire this faith as we learned from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur by hearing, by constantly hearing.
Takže tú vieru my môžeme získať, ako sme sa naučili od Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatiho Maharaja, nepretržitým načúvaním.
And we also established that every ashram should be taken as a means for service to Krishna.
A tiež sme si hovorili o tom, že každý ashram je miesto alebo priestor, v ktorom sa má
for service to Krishna.
Službe Krishnovi.
No ashram is meant for our satisfaction.
A žiadny z tých ashramov není určený pre naše vlastné uspokojenie.
And we said if we are brahmacharis just to avoid some inconveniences, we will suffer.
Že ak sme brahmačari len kvôli tomu, že sa chceme vyhnúť nejakým nepríjemnostiam alebo ťažkostiam, tak budeme trpieť.
And if we enter grihastha ashram just to be independent from others and to enjoy in wife or husband or good food and money, then we'll suffer.
A ak vstúpime do grihastha ashramu kvôli tomu, že chceme byť nezávislí a chceme si užívať či už peniaze, alebo ženu, alebo rôzne iné veci, tak budeme trpieť.
And if we enter either vanaprastha ashram or sannyasa ashram just to be free from all duties of this world and that others will offer obeisance to us and we have all facilities basically to enjoy, we will definitely suffer.
A ak vstúpime do vanaprastha ashramu alebo sannyasa ashramu s tým, že už nechceme mať žiadne tie povinnosti v tomto svete a očakávame, že tí druhí nás budú uctievať a budú nám dávať tie potrebné veci, aby my sme si mohli užívať, tak definitívne budeme trpieť.
Yes, so we should know that every ashram is meant for some mission in life.
Takže mali by sme vedieť, že každý z tých ashramov je určený na nejakú misiu v živote.
And this mission is of course for serving Krishna.
A tá misia samozrejme je za tým účelom, aby sme slúžili Krishnovi.
And not just for us to serve Krishna, but to help others to engage in devotional service and to understand how important it is for their life.
A nie len za to, že my slúžime vlastne Krishnovi, ale aby sme pomohli aj tým druhým, aby aj oni mohli slúžiť Krishnovi a aby porozumeli, aké to je dôležité v živote.
So it's most important service to our children that we ourselves are really serious in devotional service.
Takže tá najdôležitejšia služba pre naše deti je to, že my budeme skutočne vážni v tej danej službe.
And to make them understand how important is pure devotional service.
A tiež, aby oni porozumeli, že aká je dôležitá tá čistá oddaná služba.
Yes, they should know what is pure devotional service.
Mali by vedieť, že čo je tá čistá oddaná služba.
That it is not pure devotional service to pray for good grades in school.
A čistá oddaná služba neznamená, že sa modlíme pre dobré známky v škole.
And pure devotional service, it's not to pray to get a new bicycle.
A čistá oddaná služba neznamená, že sa modlíme za nový bicykel.
So they should understand that pure devotional service is meant only and exclusively for Krishna's pleasure.
A mali by vedieť, že čistá oddaná služba je určená výhradne jedine pre potešenie Krišny.
Yes, they should have deep understanding about this.
Čiže mali by mať veľmi hlboké porozumenie tomu.
So we mentioned yesterday about this Kaumara age that even before they are born, even before Garbhodana samskara, we should perform devotional service very seriously.
Že sme si tom hovorili včera, že ešte predtým, ako vlastne sú deti zrodené, ešte predtým, ako sa ešte len pokúšame o to zrodenie, ako skrze Garbhodana samskaru, tak ešte predtým vlastne by sme mali byť veľmi vážni v oddanej službe.
And when they are born, of course, they should come in really firmly established devotional environment.
A keď oni sa narodia, tak aby prišli do miesta, kde je veľmi dobre ustanovené Krishna vedomé prostredie.
So that the parents are chanting the holy name with full concentration.
Že rodičia spievajú sväté meno s plnou koncentráciou.
Because we said that we are Ananda Mayobhya Sat. I'm stressing this. It's extremely important to understand that we are pleasure-seeking beings.
A ja toto zdôrazňujem, pretože my sme Ananda Mayobhya Sat, my sme bytosti, ktoré hľadajú šťastie.
And if the children will see that we are catching our rounds all day long and there is some kind of burden for us.
A že keď deti uvidia, že to spievanie svätých mien len tak robíme ako ľahkovážne a že to je pre nás taký záťaž,
then they won't accept this.
tak oni to potom nebudú chcieť prijať.
And they don't want to be burdened.
A oni nebudú chcieť mať akože tak.
As simple as that.
Je to tak jednoduché.
But if they see that we are extremely determined ourselves,
a keď oni uvidia, že my sme extrémne rozhodnutí sami,
and that we really focus on quality devotional service,
a že sa koncentrujeme na kvalitu danej služby,
then the children will naturally understand that yes, you believe in the process.
a tak oni prirodzene budú chápať, že my veríme v ten proces.
So they will naturally accept it.
Takže oni to potom úplne prirodzene príjmu.
And we explained also about how it is important to teach them tattva.
A tiež sme hovorili o tom, že aké je dôležité učiť ich tatve.
We just explained that they should know what is pure devotional service and what is mixed devotional service.
Že mali by vedieť, čo je čistá oddaná služba, čo je zmiešaná oddaná služba.
And we mentioned yesterday reading of Srimad Bhagavatam with children, even small children.
Hovorili sme o čítaní Srimad Bhagavatamu dohromady spolu, aj dokonca aj keď sú tie deti ešte veľmi malé.
But I forgot to mention, and Kalindi told me to mention, that it's very nice if we play also on these topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, she mentioned that Jambavati, Priya and Kalindi made some dolls for they represented the sages from Naimasharanya.
Že moja dcera, ona mi pripomenula, že som nezmienil, že je veľmi dôležité tiež sa, ako aby sa tie deti hrali tie zábavy, ktoré čítajú vlastne ako Srimad Bhagavatame a hovoril, že oni si vlastne doma pripravovali, urobili nejaké také bábky, ktoré vlastne predstavovali napríklad svetcov z Naimisharany.
Yes, and you can share, Jambavati, Priya, we can share your experiences. How did you read together Srimad Bhagavatam? How many years did it take to go through all Bhagavatam? 7 years. Yes, and you started at 3 or 4. So when she was 11, they read the whole Bhagavatam from cover to cover.
Takže keď už 7 rokov im to trvalo, že prečítali celý Srimad Bhagavatam a keď mala 11, od 4 do 11, tak vlastne už prešla celý Bhagavatam.
Till 11 years old.
Yeah.
Would you like to share something? How it looked?
Well, you read according to child's age.
Že vy čítate podľa veku toho dieťaťa.
Although you take the book, Srimad Bhagavatam, I just took because there is not so much child books for children. I just took the canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Takže ja som, že keď čítate, tak čítate takým spôsobom, že zoberiete si celý ten, akože ona si rozbral akože celý ten spev, pretože tak veľa dostupných knížiek ako pre deti, tak to brala akože po spevoch alebo po takých častiach.
And usually before we started, I read some verses or a chapter, and then we together played. Yeah.
A väčšinou sme to robili tak, že ja som prečítala nejakú kapitolu alebo nejaké verše a potom my sme sa hrali vlastne ako s babikami.
Yeah. And usually it was like that, that she wanted to repeat all the time the same story over and over again.
A väčšinou to bolo tak, že ona chcela vlastne opakovať ten príbeh dookola stále ten istý znova a znova.
And that was quite nice because also for
mothers to get more deeply into the story also.
A to bolo pekné, pretože tá matka potom ona tiež musela ísť tak hlbšie do toho príbehu.
As in this connection, I would like to add that also Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar Pandit, they read together Srimad Bhagavatam, and they repeated the stories of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj over and over again. Lord Chaitanya loved these stories, and when Gadadhar, who was reading Srimad Bhagavatam to Lord Chaitanya, went through all this whole this story, which is very long for many chapters. Lord Chaitanya said, "Read it again, read it again, and again and again and again, 20 times the same story."
Ja by som pridal k tomuto taký komentár, že aj pán Chaitanya a Gadadhar, oni tiež čítali Srimad Bhagavatam a oni čítali vlastne Prahlad Maharaja alebo Dhruva Maharaja a čítali to znovu a znovu. A keď to Gadadhar čítal, tak pán Chaitanya mu hovoril, že čítaj znovu a znovu a aj 20 krát to čítali.
Well, one of her favorite stories that we many times repeated was when sages came to Naimisharanya from all over parts of the world.
A jeden z tých najobľúbenejších príbehov, ktoré vlastne sme opakovali znovu a znovu, ako tí všetci svetci prichádzali z rôznych častí do toho lesa Naimisharany.
And then she gathered all the toys from the house on one spot.
A ona pozbierala všetky hračky z celého domu na jedno miesto.
And then she chose one to be the speaker.
Sutta Goswami.
A potom ona vybrala jedného, ktorý bol ako rozprávač.
And thus this becomes deep meditation on Srimad Bhagavatam.
A to sa stane taká hlboká meditácia na Srimad Bhagavatam.
And goes very deep in the heart of the child.
A ono to ide potom veľmi hlboko do srdca toho dieťaťa.
And as Jambavati Priya mentioned, it doesn't go deep only to the child, but also to the parent.
A nejde to do srdca len toho dieťaťa, ale aj do toho rodiča.
So, yes, and then we can see this Kaumara age from 0 to 5. For example, from Srimad Bhagavatam, Nanda and Yashoda also engaged Krishna in simple duties.
A v tom veku od 0 do 5 sme hovorili, že číta ten Srimad Bhagavatam, tak my vidíme aj, že Nanda Maharaj a matka Yashoda, oni zamestnávali Krishnu v nejakých jednoduchých povinnostiach.
For example, you can remember that Krishna was sent to fetch different things to Nanda Maharaj.
Ako napríklad, že čítame, že Krishna mal nosiť nejaké veci Nanda Maharajovi.
For example, he was carrying his wooden sandals on his head.
A ako napríklad, že nosil tie drevené sandály na svojej nohe a hlave.
And if there was something too heavy for him to lift, he just stand there and looked very innocently.
A keď tam bolo niečo, čo bolo veľmi ťažké, aby mohol zobrať, tak tam len tak stál a sa pozeral tak veľmi nevinne.
And then we learn from Bhagavatam that he even was hurting calves even before Pauganda age.
A dokonca čítame v Bhagavatame, že on sa už začal starať aj o kravy ešte predtým, ako išiel.
Teleta. Yes. Cows he started to hurt when he was in Pauganda age.
A kravy až potom, keď bol v tom Pauganda.
Yes. So, yes, our children also should be engaged in some household duties.
Áno, naše deti majú byť zamestnané v nejakých tých domácich povinnostiach.
Even when they are young, very young.
Dokonca aj keď sú veľmi malí.
So they can carry this garbage out from the house.
Môžu vynášať napríklad smeti z domu.
Help something to clean.
Pomáhať niečo čistiť.
So they had to have some engagement for the welfare of the family.
Takže oni majú mať nejaké zamestnanie pre dobro celej rodiny.
Yes, and that should be allotted duty for them.
Mala by to byť nejaká určená tá povinnosť pre nich.
So when they enter Pauganda age, especially for boys, they should be trained like in army.
A keď oni tie deti prídu do toho veku Pauganda, špeciálne chlapci, tak oni majú byť trénovaní ako v armáde.
Yes, this is from 5 to 10.
To je od 5 do 10.
Yes. Usually at that time in the Vedic age they went to Gurukula.
Väčšinou v tom čase, vo vedských časoch, oni išli do Gurukuly.
So somehow or other we also have to give them training, and for the boys this is the best possible situation.
Nejakým spôsobom my musíme dať tréning a pre chlapcov to je tá najlepšia možnosť.
Yes, to be very strict, to have strict schedule, strictly everything.
Že majú byť veľmi striktnú striktný program vo všetkom.
Yes, and father should be extremely strong personality.
A otec musí byť veľmi silná osobnosť.
Yes, because there should be no wavering yes or not. What he says, that's it.
Otec musí byť veľmi silný a tam nesmie byť žiadne váhanie alebo niečo také, že to, čo on povie, tak to sa jednoducho urobí.
Yes, and if father says something, that should be done without question.
A keď otec niečo povie, tak to musí byť vykonané bez otázok.
Yes, and then the boys are functioning very good.
A potom tí chlapci, oni fungujú veľmi dobre.
So before that we said that we took the child in our lap and chanting his ear Hare Krishna, and it was very nice and warm, and but when they're in Pauganda age, it is allotted for them to chant every day on Japamala.
A predtým sme hovorili, že spievame s nimi tak veľmi jemne do ucha a takým pekným spôsobom, ale keď oni vstúpia do toho veku Pauganda, tak oni I doesn't get this word. What they should do?
They had to have duties to perform.
Yes.
For example, chanting. They have to chant.
Čiže majú to už ako povinnosť, že by mali chantovať.
So we cannot introduce this discipline just like this overnight. So they had to be brought to this slowly. As I said, they had little duties to perform for the welfare of the families.
Čiže tie povinnosti vlastne oni nemôžu byť urobené tak zo dňa na deň, hej, ale oni musia byť urobené ako tak postupne.
Yes, so but this chanting, for example, chanting of the holy name, because we mentioned that this is the most important connection with Krishna.
Ale toto spievanie, ako sme zmenili, pretože je to tá najdôležitejšia vec v spojení s Krishnom.
should be done not on rounds of Japamala, but on time.
A čiže toto spievanie by nemalo byť robené akože na kola, ale na čas.
Because if we tell them to chant rounds, we'll teach them to cheat.
Pretože keď povieme, že majú spievať kola, tak ich naučíme podvádzať.
But if they have set time for chanting, they cannot cheat.
Ale keď oni majú čas, tak nemôžu podvádzať.
Yes. So, of course, at the beginning we said 5 minutes or something. But we regularly increase. We don't increase just haphazardly, like it's our whim. Now you will chant more.
A nezvyšujeme to tak náladovo, že teraz si povieme, a tak teraz čantuj viacej.
But they should know, for example, for Janmashtami, every Janmashtami they increase, or every Kartik they increase.
A majú vedieť, že napríklad, že každý Janmashtami alebo každý Kartik, oni zvýši sa ten čas.
On their own birthday as a present
for Krishna.
Ako k svojim narodeninám v ten deň, kedy sa narodili, tak ako taký darček pre Krishnu, že oni budú spievať dlhšie.
Yes, so it should be set some time to increase and then never decrease, of course, back.
A čiže je tam daný čas, že koľko sa zväčšuje, alebo tak, alebo keď sa to zväčší, ale už potom už sa to nesmie zmenšovať ten čas.
Yes, and they are encouraged or set, especially for boys,
že oni sú pozbudení, alebo je to stanovené špeciálne pre chlapcov,
to chant more on Ekadashis and on the appearance days of the Lord.
Čiže že oni spievajú viacej cez Ekadashi alebo cez zjavenia Pána.
Whenever there is fast.
Kedykoľvek je tam post.
And we also introduce fasting for children, not complete fasting, but Ekadashi Prasad. Why should they take grains and beans and it's no need.
Že tiež zavedieme ten post Ekadashi pre deti, že nemusia jesť cez tie dni obilniny alebo strukoviny, že tam není potreba toho.
Yes. So and whole day life, for example, for boys is then discipline.
A pre chlapcov je tam potom celý ten život tá disciplína.
And we should engage them also in, if we don't live in the countryside to herd cows and run through the forest all day, then they should be introduced to some kind of sport.
A pokiaľ nežijete na dedine, hej, alebo sa starajú, kde sa starajú o kravy, alebo behajú niekde po lese, alebo tak mali by robiť nejaký šport.
Because they are full of energy and this energy should be channelized in a healthy way.
A oni majú veľa energie a potrebuje byť taká vyrovnaná, vybitá tá energia takým zdravým spôsobom.
So it's really good to be for the boys and for the girls also to be engaged in some sport.
A je dobré pre chlapcov aj pre dievčatá, aby boli zamestnané v nejakom športe.
And since we are kirtan movement, it's very good for them also to learn some musical instruments.
A keďže my sme ako kirtanové hnutie, tak je dobré pre nich sa naučiť ako nejaké hudobné nástroje.
Yes, that they can serve the Lord also with playing for the pleasure of the Lord.
Že oni môžu slúžiť Pánovi tým, že budú hrať pre ňo nejakým spôsobom.
Yes. So, and now, of course, comes in this age of Pauganda comes schooling.
A v tomto veku Pauganda prichádza škola.
Yes. I don't know. I think you have this opportunity to homeschool children, don't you?
My máme tu možnosť toho, že môžeme učiť deti doma.
Please use this opportunity.
Prosím, využite túto možnosť.
Yes, because as Prabhupada said, that schools are slaughterhouses for children.
Ako Prabhupada hovoril, že školy sú jatka pre, ako sa to po slovensku? Bytunky pre deti.
Yes, and this is so true.
A to je pravda.
Because we can see that if young children, they don't have any filters what goes through and what doesn't in their heart.
A že malé deti, oni nemajú ten filter, že čo ide cez nich a čo ide do srdca.
And the system in Kali Yuga, schooling system, is atheistic.
A ten vzdelávací systém v Kali Yuge je ateistický.
And the children are systematically taught that everything is science and that faith in God is some sentimental lunatism.
A oni sú systematicky vlastne učení v tých školách, že Boh neexistuje,
And that everything is science,
že všetko je veda.
and faith in God is some sort of sentimentalism and lunatism.
A viera v Boha je určitý druh sentimentalizmu a predstavivosti.
Yes.
Blúzenia.
Yes. So, if somehow or other we have no other choice, of course, by the state law, they have to go to school.
Ale ak nejakým iným spôsobom nemáme možnosť, tak tým štátnym zákonom oni potom musia ísť do školy.
But then this means that we should put tremendous energy in the child ourselves.
To znamená, že potom musíme dať neuveriteľné množstvo energie do toho dieťaťa.
That we take many hours per day to discuss spiritual things, to discuss materialistic point of view, that the child can discriminate.
A že strávime veľa času s tým diskutovaním s tým dieťaťom o tých veciach duchovných, aby sa ono naučilo ako rozlišovať.
And if there is any possibility to have them homeschooled, and you have this possibility, we should, of course, use it and teach the child everything in Krishna conscious perspective.
Že keď máme tu možnosť učiť to dieťa doma a vy ju tu máte, tak by sme mali využiť to, učiť ho doma tie veci z Kršna-vedomej perspektívy.
Of course, they should do the school very well.
Samozrejme, oni majú tú školu robiť dobre.
And this schooling should also be done in great discipline, especially if homeschooled children.
Tá výučba tých detí má byť tiež robená pod disciplínou.
Because this is not some kind of vacations.
Že nie je to určitý druh dovolenky.
Because they're at home. they can space out during this
Pretože sú doma, tak oni môžu byť ako
because then they will be very bad in school and they will be either sent in school by law
pretože oni budú veľmi zlí potom v škole a môže byť tá možnosť, že oni potom budú poslaní zákonom do školy.
or it will be very bad preaching that we are completely spaced out people.
Alebo to bude veľmi zlé kázanie, že my sme úplne mimo ľudia.
So they should do their school exams perfectly.
Takže oni musia robiť tie výsledky škola musia byť veľmi dobré.
And that means they should have a strict school schedule also.
To znamená, že oni musia mať striktnú učebnú výchovu.
For example, we had this phone app with interval working that it rang on different times. For example, 30 minutes. We recommend 30 minutes of concentrated study and 5 minutes of break. Or 10 minutes of break.
Sme mali takú aplikáciu, že to po určitých intervaloch to vlastne zvonilo a taký doporučený limit bol, že 30 minút ako intenzívneho štúdia a potom 5 minút prestávka.
Yes. When we didn't have this ringing app, Kalindi, for example, was spacing out. And the whole day the school lasted.
A keď sme nemali túto aplikáciu, tak dcera bola space out.
Then I said this ringing, and I said you have to do from this to this time till rings. And if she wanted to go to the toilet, she had to stop the time.
Takže až potom museli zaviesť tú aplikáciu a že iba v tom čase to musí stihnúť a keď chce ísť na toaletu, tak zastaví ten čas a tak môže ísť.
Yes, that there was no spacing out.
Aby tam nebol ten priestor na byť mimo.
But we also have to have spiritual programs with the family, as I mentioned yesterday.
A samozrejme musíme mať aj tie duchovné programy s rodinou.
So, as I mentioned, we have to have together Mangalarati, Gaurarati, listening to classes.
Takže my musíme mať spolu Mangalarati, Gaurarati, počúvať lekcie,
reading together.
Čítať spolu.
Because this is our mission.
Pretože to je naša misia.
We are grihasthas not to collect money.
My sme grihasti nie, aby sme zarábali peniaze.
Or to have perfect house.
Alebo aby sme mali dokonalý dom.
But to make our children Krishna conscious.
Ale aby tie naše deti boli vedomé Krishna.
And to make ourselves Krishna
A
conscious.
tiež, aby sme aj my boli vedomé Krishna.
And if we miss this, then our life is useless.
A ak to premrháme, tak náš život bol zbytočný.
Even if we achieve, I don't know, if we become very rich or famous, but if we are not Krishna conscious and our children are not Krishna conscious, then we missed our life.
Takže ak my budeme bohatí alebo budeme slávni, ale ak nebudeme vedomí Krishnu a naše deti nebudú vedomí Krishnu, tak sme vlastne premrhali ten život.
Yes. And we can see, at least I saw many times, that devotees don't give stress on on this point.
A videl som veľakrát, že oddaní nedávali dostatočný dôraz na tento bod.
And then their children think that this is a religion of my parents.
A potom tie deti si začnú myslieť, že to je náboženstvo mojich rodičov.
And this is the utmost disservice ever possible to achieve for our children.
A to je tá almost
Disservice.
A to je potom tá najväčšia ako, protislužba, služba od našich detí.
Yes. So, faith is like a delicate flower.
Viera je ako taký jemný kvet.
And we know from Shastra that the creeper of devotional service is very delicate.
A my vieme z písiem, že
the creeper of devotional service.
Tá rastlinka v oddanej služby je veľmi jemná.
No, yes, and should be properly cared for and guarded.
Že musí sa o ňu veľmi starostlivo starať a dávať jej opateru.
So this is our duty to care for this creeper of devotional service, not just for in our heart, but also in hearts of our children.
Takže preto my musíme dávať veľkú opateru na tú rastlinku oddanej služby v našom srdci a tiež aj v našich deťoch.
And it's extremely important that father and mother don't oppose to each other.
A je veľmi dôležité, aby muž a žena, alebo otec a matka nemali protichodné, nešli proti sebe.
If father says something or mother says something, that is sacred.
A keď niečo povie otec alebo povie matka, tak to je sveté.
Yes, and the children should obey.
A deti to musia nasledovať.
And husband and wife should support each other in implementation, to that children should follow this.
Muž a žena, oni sa musia podporovať v tom, aby deti to nasledovali.
They shouldn't undermine each other.
Mali by sa podkopovať.
Yes. Yes. So if one parent says something that others say, oh no, it's not necessary like this.
A keď jeden rodič povie niečo a ten druhý povie, to není tak dôležité.
Yes, it's extremely important to be strong support to each other.
Je to veľmi dôležité, aby tam bola tá podpora jeden druhého.
Then the children will know that the parents are very strong together and we have no other choice than to follow.
A potom deti vedia, tí rodičia, oni sú veľmi silní spolu a my nemáme inú možnosť ich sledovať.
Otherwise they will just manipulate one parent against another.
Ináč budú manipulovať jedného rodiča proti tomu druhému.
Because children are very intelligent.
Pretože deti sú veľmi inteligentné.
And they know how to turn their parents for their so-called benefit.
A oni vedia, ako majú presvedčiť rodičov, aby ich prinútili k tomu ich takzvanému prospechu.
So, as I said, the boys should be really trained very strictly.
Že ako bolo povedané, chlapci musia byť trénovaní veľmi striktne.
And the girls more softly, of course.
A dievčatá jemnejšie, samozrejme.
They should be filled. They should feel love from their parents very much.
Oni musia cítiť veľa lásky od svojich rodičov.
And because they're by nature they're more, they're good girls.
Že svojou povahou dievčatá, oni sú dobré.
But boys are checking if your boundaries are meant for real or not.
Ale chlapci, oni to kontrolujú, že či tie hranice, ktoré im dávate, sú skutočné alebo nie.
Yes, and they should be taught that they are true, these boundaries.
A mali by vidieť, že tie hranice sú skutočné.
Yes, and this is the duty of the father to enforce the discipline in the house.
A to je tá povinnosť toho otca, že on má ustanoviť tú disciplínu v tom dome.
Yes, so of course, if father wants to enforce discipline, he must be disciplined even much more than the house discipline.
Keď on chce ustanoviť nejakú disciplínu, tak on v tom musí byť ešte lepší.
Yes, very much. And the father should be should have thorough spiritual knowledge.
A otec má mať byť nositeľom toho duchovného poznania.
Yes, and he should help the whole family to deeply understand Krishna consciousness philosophy.
Má pomôcť celej tej rodine hlboko porozumieť tomu vedomiu Krishnu.
Yes, because this is a science. The Krishna consciousness is a science.
Pretože vedomie Krishnu to je veda.
And I was fascinated when I was reading Srila Prabhupada's books because he stressed all the time, this is the science. This is not just some faith, but it is spiritual science.
A ja som bol fascinovaný pri čítaní Srila Prabhupádových kníh, že Prabhupada tam stále zmieňuje, že to je veda, že to není nejaký druh viery.
Because I'm coming from scientific family and I had deep faith in science.
A pretože ja som pochádzal z vedeckej rodiny, tak ja som mal hlbokú vieru vo vedu.
So when I was reading Prabhupada's books, when he was stressing how this is a spiritual science, I took it very seriously.
A keď som čítal Prabhupádove knihy a on tam spomínal, že to je duchovná veda, tak ja som to bral veľmi vážne.
Yes. So it's the duty of a father to scientifically teach the children and wife about Krishna consciousness.
Že je to povinnosť toho otca, aby vedeckým spôsobom učil tú ženu a tie deti.
Yes, and we said that we should engage our children in sport.
A hovorili sme, že by sme mali zamestnať tie deti v športe.
And therefore, even parents should be quite sportive.
A preto aj rodičia potom by mali robiť nejaký šport.
Because if father wants to be powerful for his children, he should be physically more capable than their children.
A keď otec chce byť akože taký mocný oproti jeho deťom, tak on musí mať tú silu.
Yes, and the children should understand that father is more powerful than I am.
A deti majú chápať, že ten otec je silnejší ako som ja.
And more capable, physically more capable than I am.
A viacej fyzicky schopnejší ako som ja.
This is important because then they will have deep respect for their father.
A to je dôležité, pretože oni budú mať potom taký hlboký rešpekt pred otcom.
Otherwise they will think, you're good for nothing. I'm better than you. How can you tell me anything?
Ja si budú myslieť, ty si dobrý pre nič. Čo mi ty chceš hovoriť?
Yes. Okay. Do you have any questions? Please don't be shy to ask anything.
Máte nejaké otázky?
Yes.
I want to ask about this fasting.
Yes.
You're telling about this second stage of life, like from 5 till 10, because we have one-time discussion. If very small children, like 3 to 1 years old, should follow Ekadashi or not. And somebody said, Prabhupada say, small children and old people don't need to follow Ekadashi. So this is first. I have 2 questions.
Okay, then one by one.
Takže otázka je, že čo sa týka ohľadom postov, že ako to je, že kedy majú vlastne, že či hovoril o tom druhom veku od 5 do 10, alebo že tí malé deti a starí ľudia hovoril Prabhupada, že oni nemusia držať ako Ekadashi.
Yes, this is very important.
Takže to je veľmi dôležité.
Krishna consciousness philosophy has quite open some fasts, for example, or any other austerity. It's not so fixed on one particular type.
A v Krishna vedomí je tie spôsoby akože postov alebo nejakého odriekania nie sú určené ako pre jeden typ, ale je to také otvorené.
For example, the standard for Ekadashi is complete fast even from water and to stay awake overnight.
A napríklad ten štandard pre Ekadashi je, že úplne sa postiť, dokonca bez vody a zostať celú noc hore.
But if you cannot do this, then fast and at least don't sleep during the day.
A keď to nedokážeš, tak sa posti a aspoň nespí cez deň.
And if you cannot just fast, you can drink water.
A keď sa nedokážeš postiť, tak aspoň pí vodu.
And if you cannot just drink water, then you can take some simple fruits.
A keď nie si schopný piť iba vodu, tak môžeš prijať nejaké jednoduché ovocie.
And if you cannot just eat some simple fruits, eat normal food, but at least without grains and beans.
A keď nie si schopný dodržať takýto post, že iba jednoduché ovocie, tak nájsť sa ako normálneho jedla, ale bez obilia a bez strukovín.
And it's mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas that one should follow Ekadashi from 8 to 80.
A v Hari Bhakti Vilase je spomenuté, že by sa to malo Ekadashi dodržovať od 8 do 80.
So children below 8, they are not obliged to follow Ekadashi, and old people over 80 are also not obliged to follow Ekadashi.
Takže tie deti pod 8 nemusia nasledovať Ekadashi a starí ľudia nad 80.
But it's beneficial for children to understand that this is a special day for the Lord's pleasure, and that the whole family has some special regime during this day.
A je dôležité, aby deti porozumeli, že je to špeciálny deň pre potešenie Pána a v tom čase vlastne tá rodina má taký iný režim.
So, of course, they're not forced to have complete fast, but children will naturally follow what their parents do if they see that parents are really that they have strong faith in something.
A samozrejme nie sú nutené, aby držali plný post, ale tie deti, oni prirodzene vidia, keď ich rodičia majú v niečo ako takú veľkú vieru.
So, for example, in our house, I have complete fast for Ekadashis, and Jambavati Priya also fasts on Ekadashis. So all the children wanted themselves to also fast.
A napríklad u nás, ja držím na Ekadaši a moja žena tiež, tak tí deti, oni keď to videli, tak oni tiež chceli akože držať posty.
But if they couldn't, they of course had some prasad, Ekadashi prasad.
A keď oni to nemohli, tak samozrejme oni si dali nejaké prasady.
So
Ekadaši.
they tried to fast even as relatively small children, but when they didn't want to fast anymore, they got prasad, no problem.
A oni sa
But Ekadashi
snažili
prasad, of
ako
course.
malé deti, ale keď to nemohli, tak si dali proste Ekadaši prasada.
So Ekadashi prasad is fully nourishing, so it's no problem if they have Ekadashi prasad.
Takže Ekadaši prasada je plne výživné, takže není problém, že mali Ekadaši prasada.
And of course, this is extremely important duty of a mother to make really tasty prasad.
A je veľmi dôležité povinnosť tej matky, aby robila veľmi chutné prasada.
And then the children will love prasad.
Potom deti, oni budú mať radi milovať prasada.
And they won't care about karmi food.
A oni sa nebudú zaujímať o karmi jedlo.
And this is one of extremely important teachings also for children and for families, in fact, that we shouldn't eat anything from the shop.
A to je veľmi dôležité učenie pre tých rodičov a pre deti, že nejeme nič z obchodov.
No chips, no chocolates, no anything.
Žiadne čipsy, čokolády, nič také.
And not especially, in the same category, no juices from the shop.
A ani juicy z obchodov.
Yes, because many children are addicted to these juices and sweets from the shops.
Pretože mnoho tých detí je potom závislých na tých džusoch a na tých sladkostiach z obchodov.
And they won't just eat this and they don't eat prasad, in fact. They should be taught that prasad is prepared and offered to Krishna with love.
Mali by byť učené, že prasadam je jedlo, ktoré je pripravené a obetované s láskou Krishna.
Yes, so this is really important duty of a mother, that she is a really good cook.
Takže to je veľmi dôležitá povinnosť tej matky, že ona je veľmi dobrý kuchár.
And there are sweets at home all the time.
A sladkosti, že si nepretržite doma.
Yes, homemade sweets, of course.
Samozrejme, doma robené sladkosti.
But that doesn't mean that they can eat sweets unlimitedly.
Ale to neznamená, že
The
bude
children.
sladkosti neobmedzene.
No. They have to have regular meals, which are healthy, regular meals, and sweets after these meals.
A čiže oni majú mať ako regulárne jedlo, ktoré je vyživné a potom môžu mať ako nejakú sladkosť.
Yes, if they don't want to have this regular meal, that means that they're not hungry and they don't have capacity to eat sweets.
Nechcú zjesť to hlavné jedlo a to znamená, že nie sú hladní a to znamená, že nemajú jesť ani to sladkosť.
And if they want to eat sweets, that means, okay, you are hungry, so first you eat this.
A takže keď chcú jesť sladkosti, tak to znamená, aha, ok, takže si hladný, tak najprv sa najedz a potom môžeš.
Yes. If not, they just become spoiled.
A keď nie, tak oni potom budú ako
And they will have terrible teeth, for example.
A oni budú mať napríklad zlé zuby.
And they'll be undernourished.
Alebo budú podvyživení.
They can be fat but undernourished.
Môžu byť tuční, ale môžu byť podvyživení.
Yes. I saw many children like this, like zombies. Yes, pale, without energy, just eating sweets, and they don't want to eat anything healthy.
Bledy ako stena alebo ako nič a nemajú energiu vlastne.
So I encourage the parents to prepare Ekadashi Prasad for children.
Čiže ja podporujem to, aby rodičia pripravili to Ekadashi jedlo pre deti.
But if they consider that it's better for children to eat everything, that they can eat till 8.
A keď oni považujú, že
It's not a sin or against our principles, but it's beneficial.
Keď oni považujú, že môžu do 8 jesť čokoľvek, tak to je to na nich, hej? Ale ja to doporučujem, lebo není to nič hriešne a je to prospešné.
And it's not against our principles.
Není to proti našim princípom.
Yes, but it's really recommended that even small children, they like all family, that they know that this is a family tradition.
A že robiť to ako takú rodinnú tradíciu, že vedia, že toto robíme v ten deň.
Yes, because they love family tradition. In
Takže
fact,
deti, oni majú radi také rodinné tradície.
yes, we have some special days, and we put stress on certain things. They love this.
Takže máme špeciálne dni a zdôrazňujeme určité veci.
Because
To majú radi.
everyone loves to have some security in life,
Každý má rád nejakú bezpečie.
and if family has certain rules, they feel this is our world is like this and it's secure world.
Takže oni, keď sú tam nejaké pravidlá, tak oni vedia, že toto je náš svet a toto je náš svet, ktorý nás chráni.
Yes, so it's beneficial.
Takže je to prospešné.
What's the other question?
About this home education.
Yes.
For example, here we have one devotee, Ekacakra. She is yes, older, and she is teacher for first till
By profession.
4. Yes, my class, and now we establish like a kindergarten, and then maybe we will see. We want to continue with school here in temple, and so it's good have this system, or you prefer, or how you say, homeschooling, or it is the same, because homeschooling is in home parents, and this is like Gurukula, no, so-called
Temple school. Yes.
with now 2 children, maybe 1, 2, 3 more, but not like big school, like for example Mayapur.
Yes.
Takže moja otázka je, že my máme vlastne v chráme jednu Mataji, Karindy, ktorá je učiteľka a ona učí vlastne, teraz sme ustanovili ako škôlku a možno budeme pokračovať ďalej ako do školy a že keďže si hovoril o tom domácom vyučovaní, že čo je lepšie, že či učiť ako doma, ako rodičia, alebo ako takto v templovej škole.
I don't have experience with this, but I believe it can be very good.
Čiže ja nemám skúsenosť s tým, ale verím, že to môže byť veľmi dobré.
In fact, we wanted to implement this system in Slovenia also.
V skutočnosti my by sme chceli tiež ako implementovať tento systém v Slovensku.
When we had our children for the age for schooling.
Keď sme mali tie deti v tom veku, keď sa chodili do školy.
But unfortunately we couldn't establish this, so we just homeschooled them.
Takže my sme to neustanovili a takže sme ich učili iba doma.
As I said before, it should be strict discipline, especially for boys.
Takže ako som hovoril predtým, že musí to byť striktná disciplína, špeciálne pre chlapcov.
The system in modern education is that is done mostly by Matajis.
A ten systém v tom modernom svete je tak robený, že vo väčšine prípadov to robia ženy.
So even the boys are trained in this feminine spirit.
Že aj chlapci sú vychovaní v tom ženskom duchu.
This is so important for fathers that they don't give up in this bringing up their children very actively because they had to experience this male role.
A je dôležité, aby tí otcovia sa nestratili tú otcovskú rolu, aby tie deti chápali, že čo je ten mužský princíp.
Yes. So, if they are not homeschooled, the father should be engaged very much also in upbringing of his sons.
Ale keď oni nie sú učení doma, tak tí otcovia oni musia byť tiež veľmi ako zapojení v tom, aby v tom rozvoji toho dieťaťa.
And the parents should fully support the teacher, of course.
A tí rodičia samozrejme musia plne podporovať toho učiteľa.
And they shouldn't allow the kids to be to mess with the teacher.
A nesmú dovoliť, aby tie deti zničili toho učiteľa.
Because at least in Slovenia it's like this, the system is crazy. The teacher cannot do anything, and if he tries to do anything, then the parents come to school to chastise the teacher and go against the teachers and so on.
Takže v Slovensku je taký systém, že tí učitelia, keď sa snažia robiť niečo, tak potom prídu tí rodičia a pokárhajú toho učiteľa a idú proti nemu.
Yes. In 50 years ago or 40 years ago, the system was different.
Že pred 40-50 rokmi ten systém bol iný.
If the child wasn't good in school, he was punished at home.
Ak to dieťa nebolo dobre v škole, tak ono bolo potrestané doma.
He was punished in school and he was punished at home.
Takže ono bolo potrestané v škole a potom ešte aj doma.
Now it's not punished in school and the parents come to school and want to punish the teacher.
A teraz tí deti nie sú potrestané v škole, ale ešte tí rodičia prídu a ešte chcú potrestať ako...
If the child is not good at school.
Keď nie je dobre v škole, tak oni sa idú sťažovať.
So if you have this system, then the teacher should be supported very strongly.
Ak máte tento systém, tak ten učiteľ musí byť podporovaný veľmi silne.
And the father should enforce that his sons and also daughters are good in school. And that they obey the teacher without any nonsense.
A otec musí vlastne na to dohliadať, že tie deti sú dobré v škole, že majú dobré výsledky a tiež, že počúvajú toho učiteľa.
Yes. This is extremely important.
Že to je veľmi dôležité.
And then the system can be perfect.
A potom ten systém môže byť akože dobrý.
And the mothers will be relieved of great burden also.
A matky, oni budú uvoľnené z veľa starostí.
Because one Mataji will take over this education process.
Pretože jedna matka vlastne zoberie tú úlohu toho vzdelávacieho.
Otherwise, the parents are in difficult position because parenting and teaching is not the same role.
Pretože
So especially school teaching, it's not the same role.
To učenie a to rodičovstvo nie je tá istá úloha.
So it's good to have like this system, but it should be supported.
Takže je dobré mať taký systém, ale je potrebné, aby bol podporený.
Yes, and fathers should of course put a lot of energy in upbringing of the children.
A otec musí dať veľa energie do toho tiež vzdelávania, pozdvihnutia detí.
Yes. As I mentioned before, there should be fun only in the temple, no outside fun.
A ako som spomínal predtým, tá zábava by mala byť v chráme, nie mimo chrám.
Yes, in devotional service.
V oddanej službe.
And of course that doesn't mean that the family shouldn't go anywhere except in the temple. But even if they go somewhere, it should be some active I don't know, trip or something.
Takže má to byť taký aktívny výlet.
Yes, in some nature.
Do prírody.
There is no modern facilities to enjoy.
Kde nie sú nejaké veľa tých moderných prostriedkov si užívať.
So then the children will naturally be very inclined to go to temple regularly.
Tom tie deti budú mať inklináciu chodiť do chrámu.
For example, in our family, it was the worst possible punishment that you can imagine, that the children weren't allowed to go to the temple.
Takže ako u nás bol ten najhorší možný trest, aký mohol byť, je, že deti nemohli ísť do chrámu.
Once Nitai was forbidden to go to the temple.
Raz Nitai bol zakázaný ísť do chrámu.
My second child. I don't know what happened, why was this. We went to the temple and he wasn't allowed, and he nearly got nervous breakdown.
My sme išli do chrámu a on nešiel a skoro mu spadli nervy.
It was such a shock for him that he couldn't go to the temple.
Bol taký šok pre ňa, že nemohli ísť do chrámu.
And if in the temple there are brahmacharis who are very friendly to boys, this perfect situation.
A keď v chráme sú takí brahmačarini, ktorí sú veľmi priateľskí k chlapcom, tak to je dokonalá situácia.
Yes. Then the boys will have friends and role models in brahmacharis
A oni
at the
potom tam
temple.
majú priateľov a majú tam také idoly tých brahmačarov. Sorry.
Yes. So any other questions or comments?
Nejaké ďalšie otázky alebo komentáre?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. I would like to ask a question regarding children and Ekadashi. It was already mentioned, but it was mentioned that when parents follow Ekadashi, so children will naturally would like to also follow. And my question is if it's not easier for children to start, like from the start, to follow Ekadashi with parents, like not forcefully, but if they get used to follow, then later, like at 8, to get the children to get used to follow Ekadashi after that they didn't do it. So that's one question, and another one question is.
So if I understand correctly this question, so you're asking if isn't better to easier to implement the Ekadashi fasting from the earliest childhood.
Yeah, but it's like because we are used to follow, so when they see it, they might follow like naturally.
Yes.
So it's not a problem for the children to follow. But it was mentioned that it's not like the children are not obliged till 8.
Yes.
So in comparison, when there is a child which was not following, which is not a problem, but maybe another question, how to explain to the child, and it was not doing it, and suddenly the child after 8 should follow. So there's the point that before the child didn't need to do it, and now it's like the child should.
Yes, yes. Therefore, I recommend. I said that I recommend that they follow Ekadashi from the earliest childhood, because it's easier. Yes, please.
Že otázka je, že keď dieťa nebolo vedené k tomu, aby držalo Ekadashi a potom vlastne v tom 8. roku je vlastne by malo začať držať to Ekadashi, že ako mu to vlastne vysvetliť.
So it is of course recommended that they follow Ekadashi. The whole family follows Ekadashi, and small children are following Ekadashi by accepting Ekadashi prasad.
Že ako som zmenil, že preto je lepšie akože dodržovať to Ekadashi od toho maličkého veku a ako to potom ako nejakým spôsobom ako zavádzať. Yes.
But if somehow or other the parents don't want to implement this Ekadashi for children, of course it will be harder for them to explain later on.
Tí rodičia, oni to nezavedú, to nasledovanie toho Ekadashi od malička, tak potom to bude pre nich samozrejme náročnejšie im to vysvetliť neskôr.
Jai Nitai Chandra Gaur Chandra Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pramandi Haribo. So, but if they are following Ekadashi from the earliest childhood and they know this is our standard, they will be proud of their standard.
A keď oni budú to nasledovať od malička, tak vedia, že toto je náš štandard, tak oni budú na to pyšní.
And they won't be even tempted if they see other children not following Ekadashi.
A dokonca nebudú z toho rozrušení, keď budú vidieť, že iné deti to nedodržujú.
Because they know we follow Ekadashi. Today is Ekadashi. I don't take any food that is not suitable for Ekadashi.
A pretože oni budú tak uvažovať, že dneska je Ekadaši a ja nejem žiadne iné jedlo, ktoré nie je vhodné jesť na Ekadaši.
Yes, but they should know. We shouldn't just divert their attention to from one thing to another, but we should explain everything very thoroughly and scientifically, and they should know that this is the tradition that we follow, and it is recommended in Shastra and by all the acharyas, and that they know why we do it.
A takže je dôležité, aby to bolo tiež vysvetlené, že prečo to vlastne robia, že ako je to naša tradícia, ako je to vysvetlené v šastrách a naši ačáriovia, ako to popisujú veľmi vedecky, ako to vysvetliť.
Yes. And then we'll happily follow.
Potom s radosťou to budú nasledovať.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Is okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You have another question?
Maybe so when we have like kindergarten and there are more children and there might be children who follow and might be children who doesn't follow. So maybe the children who doesn't follow might be curious why I am eating this and he doesn't want to eat this today.
Mm-hmm.
So just explain to the children like the same point, just explain it or help them.
Yes, they.
Že taký doplnok alebo otázka je, že keď je viacej detí ako v tej škôlke a niektoré nasledujú to a niektoré nie, že či im to vysvetliť alebo ako.
Lebo niektoré deti, napríklad tie, ktoré nenasledujú kadaši, môžu byť zmetené, že prečo ja to jem a to druhé, ktoré teda nasleduje kadaši, prečo to nechce jesť alebo prečo nemôže. Že či im to, ako im to vysvetliť.
Yes, of course. The influence will be in other direction also, of course.
Čiže ten vplyv bude aj tým druhým smerom, samozrejme.
Because children respect those who have strong principles. Not just children, everyone respects those with strong principles.
Čiže deti rešpektujú tých druhých, ktorí majú silné princípy. A nielen deti, ale všetci, aj dospelí.
Yes, because then you can rely on the person with strong principles.
Pretože ty sa môžeš spoľahnúť na tú osobu, ktorá drží tie princípy.
Yes, and you can trust such a person.
A môžete veriť takej osobe.
But if we don't have strong principles in life, we are not so much reliable personality.
Takže pokiaľ my nemáme také princípy v živote, tak potom my nie sme spoľahlivá osoba.
And especially the father should be a man of principles.
Špeciálne otec má byť muž princípov.
Because then the children will feel secure.
Potom tie deti, oni sa budú cítiť bezpečne.
And wife will feel secure.
A manželka, ona sa bude cítiť bezpečne.
Because they will know the father is strong, the husband is strong.
Budú vedieť, že ten otec je silný a ten manžel on je silný.
And if the father and husband is weak, then everyone will be disturbed and in anxiety.
A keď ten otec alebo ten manžel bude slabý, tak všetci potom budú vlastne v takej úzkosti.
Yes, if the wife can do anything to her husband, and she's more powerful than her husband, then she'll be in anxiety.
A keď tá žena môže robiť čokoľvek tomu manželovi a že je silná, tak ona bude potom v úzkosti.
Yes, because she needs protection, and she cannot expect protection from someone who is weaker than her.
A ona tiež hľadá ako útočisko, ale nemôže mať útočisko u niekoho, kto je slabší.
And the same applies for children. If they're more powerful than their parents, they're in great anxiety, they're not feeling secure in such environment.
A to isté sa vzťahuje k deťom, pokiaľ oni sú viacej, akože sú silnejšie ako tí rodičia, tak oni potom necítia tú ochranu.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Is there anything else?
Ešte nejaká ďalšia otázka?
Yes, please.
Či by práve mohol povedať niečo o trestoch chlapcov? Že ako trestať chlapcov?
So if you can say something about how to punish the boys.
Punish the boys. Yes. Children are wholesome beings.
What kind of things?
Wholesome. That means that every kind of experiences they have.
Takže deti, oni sú také celistvé bytosti, že majú rôzne druhy ako skúsenosti.
Yes. And the boys, I said that they try, if your boundaries are really strong or they're just something that could be broken.
A chlapci, oni skúšajú, že či tie hranice toho rodiča sú len také slabé, alebo či sú naozaj skutočné.
So the rules of the house should be enforced for the boys especially.
Čiže tie pravidlá v dome majú byť ustanovené špeciálne aj pre chlapcov.
Of course, this is the role of a father to enforce this.
Takže je to rola otca, samozrejme.
If mother has to do it, as I said yesterday, they become hysteric.
Ak to musí urobiť matka, tak ona sa stane hysterická.
Yes, and this is not good for mother, of course, and not good for children.
To nie je dobré pre ani tú matku, ani pre tie deti.
So, yes, father should be strong enough and said, you shouldn't do it. You should do it like this and this. You should listen to your mother.
Otec má byť silný a má im povedať, že toto nesmieš robiť, musíš to robiť takto a takto, ako to povedala matka.
Yes, and what your mother said is sacred.
A čo tvoja matka povie, to je sveté.
Yes, and if the boy doesn't listen, then father should grab him and say, you understand or not?
Otec ho má silne chytiť a má sa spýtať, či to chápeš alebo nie.
Yeah. And if boy is crazy, something in his special moods, then he could be spanked on behind.
A keď ten chlapec je proste vo tej svojej mysli, že nepočúva, tak môže dostať ako pozorku.
Like if the computer just freezes and you cannot do anything with it. Do you have this experience?
Ako keď počítač zamrzne a nemôžete s ním nič urobiť.
What do you do?
Čo robíte?
Restart it, yes.
Že reštartujeme ho.
And this is some kind of restart.
Že to je taký spôsob reštartu.
Yes. But usually it's enough that they see that you're really serious about something.
Ale väčšinou stačí, keď iba oni vidia, že ste vážni ohľadom niečoho.
Yes. But as I said, this is the role of a father mainly.
Ale ako som hovoril, toto je rola otca.
Yes.
Hlavne.
And he shouldn't avoid this duty. Father.
Nemal vlastne sa vyhýbať tejto povinnosti.
And just to leave to the mother to discipline children.
A aby ona vychovávala ako deti.
Yes. It's okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Additional question. What if the element of father is void and the mother is forced to do these things? herself.
Že čo v prípade, keď ten element otca tam chýba a musí to robiť tá matka.
Yes, this is the unfortunate situation of modern age, that many mothers are alone.
To je tá nešťastná situácia tohto moderného veku, že tie matky sú samé.
What can they do?
Čo oni môžu robiť?
Then, as Prabhupada says, we should gain as much as possible from bad bargain.
A ako hovoril Prabhupada, musíme sa snažiť vyťažiť čo najviac z toho zlého nákupu.
So, this should be considered before we have children, to marry some personality with strong principles.
Preto sa musíme ešte pred tou svadbou dobre ako tomu rozumieť a zobrať si za muža osobu so silnými princípami.
Yes. And for the men, they should seek for chaste girl.
A muži, oni majú hľadať ctnostnú ženu,
who is not flirting with men.
ktorá neflirtuje s mužmi.
Yes, and he's not the center of all attention of men, also the boys' company.
A ktorá nerobí zo seba stred pozornosti v spoločnosti mužov.
So they should be careful who to choose for their husband or wife.
Takže by sme mali byť pozorní v tom, koho si vyberieť za muža alebo za ženu.
Jamavati, you wanted to mention?
Yes, maybe I can help a little bit, because I was like at home with two boys, because I was homeschooling them, and he was not present because he was working.
Takže ja som bola, môžem s tým pomôcť, ja som bola doma s dvoma chlapcami a manželom pracoval.
So I developed some techniques.
Že ja som rozvinula určitú techniku.
So I was writing down everything I said. Is it done or is it not done? Did he obey immediately with a few
warnings?
Did he need some warnings or he didn't obey at all? And I was like having these marks.
Takže ja som si to tak zaznamenala všetko, že či oni vlastne robili to, čo mali, a keď nemali, že či oni tak akože to prijali bez odvrávania, alebo nejak ako namietali, hej, a do akej miery, a tak som si robila také značky.
Mikrofón si držu rok.
And then I decided some punishment, like you have to clean the floor, maybe clean the windows. I was very happy if they didn't obey, because my house would be clean.
Ja som mala potom nejaké tresty, že museli niečo poumývať a tak, a ja som bola z toho rada, lebo som mala pokoj od tých domácich povinností.
Yes, in this, I just something I want to add here. This punishment, never ever should chanting, or example something devotional should be a punishment.
Nemalo by byť trestom ako nejaký devocionálny, nejaká činnosť devocionálna, ako napríklad chantovanie.
If this would be a punishment, then they would connect the devotional service is punishment, not something pleasurable.
Lebo oni si potom budú to spájať, že ten trest je, že udaná služba je trest.
Yes.
So this could help a little bit for some time, but the best thing is that they obey, like you say. I mean, if you can, and you can have such attitude that this is because I said it, not because.
For example,
Yeah.
the boys.
Že dobré je, keď že toto môže pomôcť iba nejaký čas, že ale dobré je, keď oni to proste urobia, keď to majú urobiť.
The boys didn't want to follow the school system with Jambavati Priya.
Že tí chlapci oni nechceli nasledovať ten školský systém z Jambavati.
Then they had to get up at 4 and do school before every program we had with me.
A oni potom museli sa učiť školu ešte pred štvrtou a ešte predtým, ako sme mali tie duchovné programy, so mnou sa to museli učiť.
Yes, before I went to job, yes, they did their school with me.
Takže oni potom museli robiť tú školu so mnou.
And that lasts for a few months maybe, and then they became good boys again.
A to trvalo nejaký čas, pár mesiacov, a oni potom zostali zase dobrými chlapcami.
Well, I just want to say that you develop some kind of system, that you are peaceful, that you are not like a policeman or an army commandment, and that you can, especially relationship mother-son. With girls it's different. It was not necessary for the girls to do like this.
Čiže to, čo som chcela povedať, je, že dôležité si vytvoriť nejaký systém, aby to neprešlo do toho, že som nejaký vojak alebo policajt, že nahnám, že aby sa tam udržal aj ten vzťah tej matky a ten materský vzťah. Pri tom dievčati som to nemusela robiť, ale...
And you mentioned this, that you put down everything. So we also had a sadhana chart for children.
A sme mali tiež taký list, sadhana list pre tie deti.
How they chant their rounds.
Ako oni spievajú.
If they were very nicely they chanted, they got some pictures of Lord Chaitanya or Krishna.
Keď oni pekne spievali, tak dostali nejaký taký obraz od pána Chaitanya, Krishna.
And if they were reading very nicely also, and so on.
A keď čítali, tak tiež nejak.
Because they had to read, when they knew how to read, they had to read also themselves, not just with the parents.
A keď oni vedia čítať, tak už by mali čítať aj sami, nie len ako rodičia.
Regularly. Immediately after chanting, they had to read Bhagavatam or anything. And what is also beneficial, they had to write the diary.
A čo je tiež prospešné, je dobré, že keby si písali denník.
Okay. I think you wanted to ask anything?
I just wanted to
Microphone. Yeah.
So I just want to say that Kadambakananda Maharaj gave a beautiful example about the difference between boys and girls, so maybe you can tell.
I don't know what you think.
The flowers,
Yes.
and that you should only water them and they will grow.
Yes.
And the boys are like rocks. You have to carve them to make them.
To make them nicely. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good example.
I was not hearing.
Kadambakananda Maharaj gave the example that the girls are like roses.
Takže Kaumara Maharaj dával taký príklad, že dievčatá sú ako rúže.
And you just have to care for them and nourish them, and they will grow very nicely.
A že vy sa musíte o ne starať a musíte ich pekne polievať a hnojiť a oni budú rásť krásne.
And the boys are like rocks.
A chlapci, oni sú ako skaly.
And they should be carved to be nice.
A oni musia byť obrúsení, aby boli pekní.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else?
Ešte niečo ďalšie?
We have 5 more minutes.
Ešte máme.
Four more minutes. Yes, please.
I have a question, because we have small son, less than 2 years, and sometimes we go to temple where are older children, and sometimes these children, they do something what should not be done, and I try to educate my son he should not do it, but how I can explain to small child like this if he see that other children are doing it.
Yes, you just
Ja sa chcem spýtať, že keď mám malého chlapca a idem s ním do chrámu a sú tam starší chlapci a oni robia niečo, čo by nemali a on je ešte malý, že ako mu to mám nejak vysvetliť, že by to nemalo robiť.
You just explain. We don't do this. What the other boys are doing is not right.
A iba to vysvetlíme, že my toto nerobíme, to, čo robia tí chlapci, nie je správne.
And I don't allow you to do this.
A ja to nedovolujem robiť.
And then he will understand. If you be strong enough and then, you will not waver in your decision, he will follow.
A takže on, keď mu to tak vysvetlíš a budeš silný v tom tvojom rozhodnutí a nebudeš ovplyvnený, tak potom on to tak príjme a bude to nasledovať.
He will follow, yes. And if he doesn't follow, then you teach him again and again and again. You don't allow them, and you. I said to you that don't do it. Don't do it. Yes.
No need to explain.
Yes.
Much. Just know.
Yes.
Niekedy nie je potrebné to až tak vysvetľovať, iba povedať, že nie.
Because there is no need for deep explanation or with discussion, because this is the age of that everything should be discussed. But it's not true. This is your principle and you should be strong on this principle. No, I don't allow you. It's not right.
Že aj keď teraz je taká doba, že všetko má byť akože vysvetlené a sa má o tom diskutovať, ale v tom veku toho dieťaťa to není potrebné. Tam treba práve naopak iba povedať, že nie, toto je náš princíp a tak to je a
I don't allow this.
A ja ti toto nedovolujem.
Yes. No discussion allowed.
Žiadna diskusia tam nie je povolená.
Yes. That's it. And this what I'm saying.
Takže
it's my word.
Tak toto je moje slovo a
Yes.
And if he cries, don't be disturbed.
Yeah.
You can cry, but still it's not.
It's not allowed. This applies especially for mothers.
A keď on bude plakať, tak nesmieš byť s tým rozrušený, hej?
Yeah.
Špeciálne vzťahuje k matkám.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted, maybe I can share what I was thinking while my husband was lecturing.
Mikrofon.
Takže ja som, keď manžel niečo hovoril, tak som uvažovala nad niečím.
I remembered the story from Srimad Bhagavatam about Diti.
Takže som si spomenula na príbeh zo Srimad Bhagavatamu o Diti.
And as we know, she was the mother of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha.
A ona bola matkou Hiranyakashipu a Hiranyakši.
Although they were not nice children, actually demons.
Aj keď neboli pekné deti, že boli v skutočnosti démoni.
She was blindly in love in them.
Ona ich slepo milovala.
Yeah. And she didn't recognize their mistakes.
A ona nerozpoznala ich chyby.
So as parents, we also have this kind of inclination.
A ako rodičia my máme tiež túto inklináciu.
So we should be aware that we are not blindly in love in our children.
A mali by sme to chápať, že nemali by sme byť slepo zamilovaní do našich detí.
So we should contemplate and set rules for them and stick to these rules.
Čiže mali by sme rozímať nad tými vecmi a mať určité pravidlá a držať sa tých pravidiel.
Well, mothers are more emotional.
Matky sú viacej emocionálne.
And they think, oh, their heart is like, oh, I can't do this to my children. It's too much. It's too painful.
Že oni uvažujú, tak ja toto nemôžem urobiť svojmu dieťaťu, to je príliš bolestivé.
He will suffer so much.
Tak strašne trpieť.
But if this is why it's good to have a strong husband or somebody. If you don't have husband, some person who can advise you.
Takže preto je dôležité mať ako manžela silného, alebo keď nemáte manžela, tak nejakú osobu silnú,
that can
ktorá môže radiť.
Show you the right direction while upbringing your child.
Ktorá vám ukáže ten smer vo výchove toho dieťaťa.
Yeah. So we as women should be meek or humble enough to recognize that we are a little bit too much emotional sometimes, and just say, okay, I will leave it to somebody. It's
my husband.
Yes, somebody who can deal with this
not just
better.
Somebody. It should be husband.
Žena to musí byť taká dostatočne pokorná a má to porozumieť tomu, že toto je na mňa príliš veľa a má nechať tú úlohu urobiť manžela.
Like this. It's time to stop.
Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you very much for your attention. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande.